John Jacobs, John Jacobs, John Jacobs.
Can stop the pain.
John Jacobs, John Jacobs, John
Can
Jacobs.
stop the pain.
John Jacobs.
Can the doctor stop it? Can the psychiatrist stop it? Did you know the psychiatrists are the number one and number two having the worst problem with their children?
The witch doctor that had earlier come in there, pronouncing spells and curses, had no effect. Because where
John Jacobs
is, the devils tremble.
You may never be a physical champion. Everybody had something great to offer this world. Everybody.
Hey everybody, it's your man Tight, coming to you with another true spook story. Now before I begin, I want to ask that you hit that like button. Go and subscribe to the channel and share me with your friends and family, because you know these stories are good. Don't hit that damn like button now. Don't make me fight you. Speaking of fight, what today true spook story is going to be about my Uncle Sean. Now my Uncle Sean was heavy into, you know, weightlifting, powerlifting, all that type of stuff. So he was known in the hood for kicking ass. His nickname and fighting and boxing, because the other true spook story that I'm gonna do in 2 weeks is not gonna be a follow-up to this one, but it's about Unc too. Now, Uncle Sean was known as a boxer, and we'll get into that next week, in 2 weeks. But prior to him getting into boxing real good, you know, he was a power lifter, weightlifter. He loved exercising. All of us are just kind of, you know, stocky, well-built men. And Unc set the standard for us. I mean, he had a 28-inch waist. He had wings of a god. And I'm saying these words because this plays out into how the story gonna go. So they used to say he had wings of an angel, you know, muscle wings when bodybuilders flex. Say he had the glutes of a god, of a Greek god. Every time somebody would talk about him, his body, they would reference, you know, deities and things of that nature. So Uncle got real buff and real good. He used to train with Ronnie Coleman. He used to do all that stuff. I mean, he even went to some amateur events and he took like second and third place, but he could never get to first place, no matter how much he did, no matter how much food he ate. He was just that dude. Now, let me give you a backstory. Uncle Sean, he ended up killing that lady, Anita, back in the day, and went to prison, and that's the one that's hunting. He's the one that's getting hunted now by the girl that lived directly next door to him, that looked just like Anita, shape and all. So if you want to know about that story, you know, go back to the channel and look up that one about my Uncle Sean. I forget what I titled it, but back to this right here. So now Unc was a heavy power lifter, man. He loved weights. He loved everything, going to the gym. He loved just pumping iron. Him and his friend Grady, they loved exercising. So, you know, one day, Uncle Sean, I think he had met some lady. And this lady he met, she was heavy into Christianity. I think he had tried his hand at dating a white one. So she was heavy into Christianity, but she was also heavy into weightlifting, like fitness. You know, back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, that was the thing. So she was like, yeah, if you want to go down here to the gym with me, we could come on. So Unc was like, cool, yeah. He knew we were finna get him some white snacks, so it was cool. You know, good looking black man. What the fuck? She knew what she was in the hood doing. So Unc go down there, Unc at the gym, he lifting weights. And then he invite his friend Grady to come lift weights with him. They lifting weights. They enjoying it. Now they not at a black gym no more. These people over here had a white gym. And if I'm not mistaken, the white gym was somewhere off in College Park, Orange Avenue area. So Unc was like, damn, they got better equipment, they got better this, they got an aerobic class. So he was just mesmerized, and he was in awe with the drastic change that the gym presented. the lady, she was happy showing off her little black buck. She used to nickname him. She ended up calling him Buck. Like, she used to say, hey, Buck, Buck. And he didn't care because he was trimming the fuck out of her. So call me what you want to call me. You know, bitch, I'm getting to hit me a white woman for the first time in my life, Unc used to say. And Unc, he didn't understand how to treat the woman because, again, she was white, and he's a Southern Negro bodybuilder, you know, from the hood, off Darlings and Orange Center. You know, it is what it is, from Moultrie, Georgia. You know, he didn't care. So he got to, you know, hanging out with her, doing real good, things like that. So she started buying him things. She started buying him things and getting the material thing. And Unc ain't never really liked driving cars, but he loved to ride his 10-speed. He always had him a nice fly bike, Feli bike, 10-speed, Huffy. He always liked to ride around and shit like that. So she asked him, she's like, hey, you know, why you don't want to drive no car? You got money, you ain't broke, you got a job. Why you always riding these bikes around town with a boombox on the front of it? And he was like, no, we keep my fitness up. So she couldn't stand the simple fact that Unc would never like drive a car, even though he had license. He used to drive grandma's car sometimes to the store to get some Haagen-Dazs and some backer, Levi Garrett Red Man Golden Blend, that is. So she said, okay, she had devised a plan that she was gonna change Unc. She was gonna force him to get a car because, you know, she can't have her buck, you know, out there in them streets looking bad in front of the friends, and, you know, he pulling up to the gym on a 10-speed, hopping off, going in there throwing more weights than God himself. Then he get on the bike, after hugging and kissing her, and, you know, and he'd ride off on a 10-speed. You know, her little bougie ass didn't want her friends to see that. And so she came to him and she said, hey, I want to take you to get this little car. Now, she bought Uncle a little car. Back in the day, cars were pretty cheap. She bought Uncle Chrysler. She bought Uncle little Chrysler, some little smaller bullshit. Chrysler was blue. And Unc was like, man, this a fancy car. You know, he said, I don't like to drive on, you know. And she like, no, come pick me up sometime. She wanted to show Unc off. So Unc say, okay, I'll do it. So against Unc better judgment, he sat up there and he went and, you know, he left his bike. He went to the gym. They worked out. She got in the car with him and she drove off. Now, this white woman, she had an ex-boyfriend or ex-husband, something like that. So the ex-husband see, you know, Unc, you know, taking the little bunny on by around the corner, and they going, and Unc was like, yeah, this car drive good. Now, keep in mind, Unc ain't never really cared for material things like cars and clothes and shit. He just was simple, you know, think Rocky Balboa. That's Unc. So he just simple cat, man. And he had got used to driving the car because he only drove it to impress her. Like, if she was a lead take the car, he wouldn't have no worries in the world. So now her ex-boyfriend didn't come into play. And with her ex-boyfriend coming into play, you know, both on bodybuilding. So Unc at the gym one day, he done drove the car there, and he working out and he doing it. So the ex-bodybuilder, the girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, who was also a bodybuilder, he was in that bit pretty tough. So we walk up to Uncle Sean and he was like, hey, Buck. And Uncle Sean was like, you talking to me? Because only the girl called him Buck. You know, his name was Touchy. That's his street name, Touchy, because he was an avid boxer. So they were like, hey, Buck. And the dude, Uncle Sean, was ignoring him. He like, don't you hear me talking to you, Buck? And Uncle Sean still ignoring him. So he went and grabbed Uncle Sean while Uncle Sean had these little like 40-pound weights in his hand doing curls. So when Uncle Sean spent, you know, he ended up hitting the man in the being strong. So when he spent, unintentionally, he just like knee-jerk reaction, hit the man, boom, with the weight, knocked the man down. When he knocked the white dude down, the white dude's hand ended up going inside one of the machines, and it kind of crushed like his finger. Because he had a ring, he still had his wedding ring on that finger. So it didn't chop the finger off, but it was damn sure bleeding like a bitch in that gym. So the police came, and everything, and they like, well, we gotta arrest you for causing trouble. You know, back in the 80s and the 90s, shit was racist still. And this is in College Park, you know, that's where all the white folks at before white flight took over. So he was like, listen, this man came up here, he put his hands on me. The gym manager was like, yeah, this guy comes in here, old Buck comes in here and he works out. He doesn't bother nobody. He's cheerful. He's always smiling and laughing. And the guy just love him. The white man talking for Unc. Everybody talking for Unc. Now the lady, she didn't talk for Unc. She didn't let the police know that Unc was in the gym for her because he was using her membership, believe it or not. She never gave him a membership. Long as she came to the bitch, she was able to bring one guest. So Unc was like, you know, go over there and talk to Deborah, and Deborah was like, I don't want to deal with it. I hate violence. She was in that zone. So now Deborah go and nurse her ex-boyfriend together. Now Uncle Sean is just out and about. So he feeling shitty. So the police like, well, we're gonna arrest you for loitering. And everybody in the gym like, he's not loitering. He's always here, but he don't have a membership, so he loitering. And they were like, well, technically he don't. And she didn't talk up for him. So Uncle Sean go down there to 33rd. Now while Uncle Sean down there at 33rd, you know, he's fuming because he's like, shit, I done got fucked up with this white bitch, and she flying off the handle. She's in there, let me get handled like this and things like that. So now while Unc in there, he see a dude like another bodybuilder man, and the bodybuilder like, can I pray for you? Now we come from a praying family. We Christian at heart. You know, grandma did what she did. So the man was like, Uncle, like, yeah, I need all the help I can get. You know, I got other charges, you know, from my youth, and who knows, they may send me up the road. So the bodybuilder white dude start praying for Unc in the jail cell. From this is Uncle count. Start praying for Unc in the jail cell. So he'd be like, yeah, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, we rebuke anything come against your brother. You God got a calling on your life, and you're gonna be a powerful man. I think I can see you with the power team of Christ. So Unc was like, what's a power team? So after the prayer, dude told Unc about the power team. Now Unc got this dream in his head. He wants to be part of this power team, people. He wants to be part of this power team. Now Unc ended up going to court. The judge gave him like 31 days probation, tell him he need community service. So now, keeping a true Negro slave fashion, he had to go to the gym in Winter Park, and he had to work there and clean the bitch up for a month, 30 days. The dude signed off on it. And then but Unc was okay with that because he was like, now I got a reason to be there. I can work and clean the gym, and then I could work out before I leave. So to him, it was a win-win. He didn't care, and the judge understood it. So Unc attributed that to Jesus Christ. So now, after Unc got off probation, he was asked by that minister team of the video I just showed you in the beginning of this one right here. He was asked for that to go up there and like go on the road and travel with him. But keep in mind, Unc is a simple dude, and he was like, no, I ain't gonna leave my mama. I ain't gonna leave home. I ain't gonna go on the road with you. None of that shit though. So the dude was like, well, whenever we come to Florida, to Orlando, any other surrounding cities at the arenas, we're going to call on you, and we're going to dress you up, and you're going to go and show how God has been great to you. We're going to show them how the power of Christ compels your muscles to grow and be great. Because, you know, we're fighting the Russians right now, and we're fighting all kind of communists, and we need Jesus in our life. We need Jesus in our life. And you can help bring your brothers and sisters out of the hood into the arms of loving Christ with the power of God. So he was like, yeah, I would like that. So Unc go back to his job, doing whatever he was doing. You know, they go and they tour in Dallas, Texas, and all that other stuff. So now they're making stops in Florida. So when they made a stop in Florida, they called Unc like, hey, you want to be part of the power team? He's like, yeah. So Unc go up there. And believe it or not, people, behind the scenes, they had a lot of bodybuilders in the back that dressed up in the new sweatsuits and shit they had. toting refrigerators. Unc would train to tote refrigerators, but some of the refrigerators was empty. And Unc saw that, but Unc didn't care because, you know, it's all about making people believe in Jesus Christ. So he didn't care that some of the shit was a prompt. So, but every time they came to Florida to do a show in Orlando area, Unc never got put on stage because they had the same core group of 9. But he get to dress up. He was taking little snap pictures and all that shit though. We still got the pictures. He was taking them, but he never got put on stage. So Unc got real envious of that shit. And Unc was like, why they not put me on stage? I'm bigger than everybody. I lift everything. He was like, these dudes sitting up there lifting props and fake shit and breaking fake chains. And he said, nigga, I'm really strong enough to break some handcuffs. I'm really strong enough to lift a refrigerator on my back like it ain't nothing. So Unc had that envy and that jealousy in him the whole time. So now grandmama figuring this shit out. And grandma love a boy. So grandma was like, well, I'm going to go down there and talk to him. Maybe I can sit up there and convince him in my own way. And Aunt was like, no, mama, don't do that. Don't waste your time. You know, it's God's will for me to be on the praise team, on the power team. You know, I'll be on it. You know, don't waste your time, mama. Thank you, you know. So Aunt let it go. So grandma look at me. I'm sitting down there. At this time, you know, I'm still legit, man. I'm still a little chunk, legit. But I when grandma give me that look, bitch, I know what it is. It's time to suit up. We finna go do some Batman and Avengers shit. And this is the family. So grandma said, be ready. I said, yes, ma'am. So for 2 days, people, I sat in my clothes. I take a shower. I put on the same clothes. You know, I just sat there watching Transformers and shit, cartoon, until I hear grandma horn outside blow. So 2 days, it was about 12 days in the afternoon. I hear grandma horn, bam, bam, bam. She always hit the bitch 3 times, bam, bam, bam. I see that. I would look out the window. I see that Buick, bitch, I'm floating. I'm jumping out that bitch, I'm running. I said, where we going? She said, come on. So she got in the car. She took me down Far City Road, people. She took me down Far City Road, and it's this church that sits on the right-hand side, right across from the Shell gas station. I forget the name of the church, but that's where they used to have the power hour at during Sundays and services, but they would move it to the arena. You know, they would move it to the arena, downtown Orlando arena, you know, when they putting on the spectacles and they done sold tickets and shit. It was that type of energy. So we would go over there to that church, that big old mega church. So grandma go in there, turn up in there. We follow the sign, so we get out. So grandma gets out, and I mean, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Grandma gets out there, she scroll with her hand in her pocket, and she look at him, and she say, are you so-and-so and so-and-so? At this time, this was the head preacher. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want no shit. You know, at this time, this was the head preacher. Yeah. How can I help you, ma'am? We all polite too. How can I help you, ma'am? And this is your grandson, cute boy. How can I help you? With the power of Christ. And grandma said, well, you know, you got my boy back here, Sean. Say, Sean. Oh, yeah. Oh, Buck. Yeah, he's strong as a buck, too. Now, these two. Now, grandma ain't liking the buck shit, because this all the white folks talking, and, you know, that's racial back in the day. Well, I don't call him Buck. I call him Sean. But you know, he's stronger than anybody here, and he got more Jesus in his finger than y'all got in y'all whole ass. Now, I want him on stage. Grandma said it just like that. I'm looking. He said, well, you know, we got the core members that would pay, and they get first dibs. And grandma, my son needs to be on stage. And grandma, that's all grandma said, and grandma looked at him. And he stared grandma down. And he, you know, he kind of gave grandma that look like, so what if I don't? And he was like, so what if I don't? And his back just looked the energy. Bitch, don't let this Christian shit fool you now. I bust your ass up. That's the look he gave grandma. You still look old ass little nigga lady. Man, grandma reached in her purse and she pulled out a chicken feet, and it had a black feather, a blue feather, and a red feather tied around. And when she pulled out her chicken feet, she threw it on the ground in the church. That dude looked down and he jumped back so far. That motherfucker was like he took to the air like Spider-Man. He jumped back. I rebuke this in the name of Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior. I rebuke you. Yitta, 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 yitta. She said, this chicken foot gonna stay here until he walked that stage. And grandma walked out the door. Now, this is a big mega church now. And there's a voodoo chicken foot with a feather on that bitch hexed. Done hexed the church. Man. So the preacher dude had got in his head that, he was going to tell Aunt he don't even want him dead here because he don't want to deal with grandma. So he called the janitors to touch the chicken foot and all that stuff, and they couldn't get it up. They trying to pry it up. They put wax on it. They scrubbing it up. Everybody laughing. They taking pictures like, damn, a voodoo woman came in this bitch and hexed the whole church. Now the whole goddamn church been hexed. Everybody was trying to get the chicken foot up. So, and I'm going to pause it right there. So in that speech he give, when he say a voodoo priest came in here and tried to hex him, but it didn't work, he was talking about grandmama, because grandma literally came up there and told him. Now, he was trying to say, like, if you look in that clip, he was real agitated. He wasn't as bright and confident. You could see his voice broken. And I was shocked they had that clip online because I looked. So he was like, shit, what to do? So he sits up there and he tell Aunt, he say, hey, I'm going to let you walk the stage. And Aunt was like, what? Because Aunt had all but given up. But Aunt used to go there because it's part of the praise team, part of worship. He get to take pictures. He get to be around other bodybuilders. They get to talk. So Aunt was one of the only black guys. There were 3 total. Aunt was one of the only black guys that got to walk the stage with the power team. Everybody else was white men and Hispanics. But it was 3 blacks they had. But Aunt was like one of the only ones. But they never put them all on stage at the same time. So now again, some of these refrigerators was hollowed out according to what Unc said. Some of these bricks was already pre-cut and scored according to what Unc said. I wasn't there, so I'm just going off what Unc was saying. So Unc finally got to walk the thing. So everybody would not, like, you have to have your personal refrigerator because they didn't want nobody to know that they shit was carved out and there were prompts or nothing. So now it's Aunt Bit Night to walk the stage. It's Aunt Bit Night to walk the stage. So Aunt like, damn, I ain't got no refrigerator to put on my back. Ain't nobody let me use the weights. So because nobody wanted Aunt to do this, they were just trying to, the preacher man was trying to do this to get the voodoo curse up out the church. So Aunt goes into the break room, and when he goes into the break room of the damn church, he ends up getting that refrigerator full of food and everything else. So Unc do the whole scrap thing on. He strapped the motherfucker on his back, and he walks like up the hallway from the break room all the way to the stage of the church. And that was a long ass path. And when they called this name, he come out there with one of those new age chrome looking refrigerators back in the day when they first started making them. It wasn't the white ones that they was doing, but then the hollowed out one. He came with the new age chrome one, and he had that bitch on his back, and he didn't clean it up. And the preacher was like, because everybody was in the crowd, the whole family, like, oh my Lord, look at the power of Christ. Because he, he thought Unc was going to fake. Unc had a real refrigerator, y'all. Elijah leave it at that. Food in it, drinks in it, all that shit. But Unc was just that buck strong. So he comes staggering out there, and he walks, and Unc powerhouse in that motherfucker. He get down and he go all the way. He do some hemorrhoid squats. I mean, he went so low as probably the hemorrhoid popped out his ass if he wasn't a strong man. He went that low, and he just did like 7 of them, and the crowd loved him. So they counted all the way like 7, 8, 9, 10, and he stood straight up in his back, and he walk, and he put the refrigerator down on the side. And when he put the refrigerator down on the side, Unc was the only one that when he unstrapped, he opened the refrigerator and let everybody know that there was food, beverages in there. It was a thing. So now he done forced everybody else to up their game because Unc was really strong. So the preacher was like, oh my God, we got us one. Unc had everybody praising, worshiping. They clapped their hands for him. They clap their hands for him. And they call your name. They say, this is Sean such and such. And then they were calling Unc by his last name. They were chanting and cheering from the name the preacher gave him. So Unc happy he got his moment. So after everybody had left, Unc done talked to the preacher like, you're gonna come back, you could be one of the headliners, you could be one of the starters. Unc like, I would love that. So Unc go home, Unc tell Grandma. So now Grandma come and get me about 2 days later. Grandma come to the house, she get me. She said, come on, baby. I said, what's going on, Grandma? She said, come on. So we get in the car, we're going up Far City Road. We get to the church, we turn up in that thing, and same thing. 12 day, 1 day in the afternoon. We go up in there, and Grandma, hey, baby, how you doing? Hey, I'm here, I'm back. And the preacher was like, what do you want? What do you want? The workers of iniquity, your devil worshiping. He was selling Grandma out like a motherfucker, right? The Grandma said, I come to get my foot. And she said, is it still over there where I put it? And she laughed. And he said, it's still there. You take that demonic thing out of here, this voodoo, this witchery. And Grandma said, you put my boy on stage. And then the preacher stopped like being mad because he got ratings. And he, yeah, oh my God, they loved him. They loved him. So Grandma bent down and Grandma picked up the foot. And Grandma put it back in the little bag that she brought it in. Grandma said, well, I don't need to come here no more, right? I don't care if you ever put him on stage again. You just did him a good favor. Thank you. So he was like, no, we really need him. And Grandma said, well, that's between you and him. And he was like, okay, what can we do to get him here? Now, look, this is a preacher about to make a deal with a voodoo woman, with a root worker. And Grandma said, no, I ain't gonna let you taint your spirit. And Grandma walked out. Grandma said, take it up with him. Now, at that point, Grandma knew that he loved the fame so much that he was about to sell his soul, or he was about to fuck up his belief with his Christian God. But Grandma was a good lady, and she understood. She just was out for her family and to help people. And she even helped the preacher by causing him not to falter on his faith. Y'all keep that shit in mind. So Grandma take the foot, she leaves. So now the dude looking sad, because we all going up there to watch Uncle Sean lift the refrigerator. Some of them was recorded, some of it wasn't. So he looking sad. So he tell Aunt, he say, hey Buck, is that your mother? And yeah, that's my mama. And he say, well, your mother, she is quite the lady. Could you give her free tickets to come backstage? Just tell her to ask for me. Unc said, yeah. So Unc played on Grandma's heartstrings. You gonna come see me lift, Mama? You know I love you. Grandma, sure, I'll come watch you lift. So Grandma get dressed out. When she get off work, she go there. She go to the church service. She get on her little pantsuit, and she in that thing doing it. So the whole time he preaching, he looking at Grandmama with the puppy dog eyes, trying to get Grandma to feel sorry for him. Uncle Sean walked the stage, lift the refrigerator, break the handcuffs. You know, he take the chains and the weights and put them around his neck. And they talk about a verse in the Bible like sin is heavier than a millstone and all that shit there. And Uncle Sean walked the stage with them big ass Cadillacs on his goddamn neck, you know, symbolizing how heavy a millstone would be. Man, Grandma still didn't do nothing. So now, Grandma like, I ain't coming back here, Sean, you know, you're doing your thing, baby. Sean was like, okay, thank you for supporting me. So now, in come the lady, Deborah, who was fucking with the white woman. Now, her boyfriend, that finger done been fixed. It's been about 5-6 months. You know, his finger done healed. Now, he done joined the power team. Now, if y'all look at the power team, he was the one with the mullet. He had the long hair, and he was the one that got most star time than anybody. If y'all could go back and find them old videos of the power team, I mean, hair down to his center of his back, you know, with the kind of what they call that thing, business in the front, party in the back, the mullet. So now he got a hatred to Uncle Sean, and then, you know, Deborah there on the scene because they had a female power team. They were trying to get that going. The women who pumped iron for Christ. So everybody was capitalizing off of this muscle madness shit during that time. So Aunt was like, I need some time on stage. Can I go on stage? And he was like, no. So now they had made the dude who was Deborah's boyfriend, because they had got back together, you know, chief of the captain of the weightlifting team. So he never really brought Unc out there other than the whole weights. He never let Unc show his feet, a testament strength of Seiji. But, you know, he can assist somebody with holding up the refrigerator, with putting weights on the bar and making sure it don't crush him. He was that energy. So, but Unc was okay, because, again, they were talking about Jesus Christ. It was the power of Christ compels type shit. Unc was okay. Now, Deborah and Unc started looking at each other, and then Unc was like, nah, you living out of sin. I don't want to mess around with you. I'm giving it to Jesus Christ. I keep in mind, her and her ex wasn't married, but here he is on the praise team and shit like this. But Unc took it serious. So now, Unc went and told the dude, hey, you know, you and Deborah are living in sin because y'all ain't married, and I'll never mess with Deborah again. I'm looking for my wife, but y'all living in sin. So now Unc preaching to this man, and the man get real mad at Unc. Unc say he say, boy, that white man nose got so red, because he didn't really like using the word cracker. Unc was really a sweet dude. He didn't like using the word cracker. He say, man, that white dude face got so red, like one of them elves from the Christmas show, because he's simple-minded like that, but he a good heart. And I love my uncle so much. He the only one took care of me after grandmama. Y'all know that, right? Only one protected me. When he went to prison, I was lost, y'all. People did bad shit to me, but that's not this story. But so Unc was just laughing, and he said, boy, I tell you, he pulled out a blade when I started preaching the Bible, and that's when I knew that was the devil. That's when I prayed to Jesus to remove the knife from his hand. And he said, you know, and he said, Gink. He said, Gink, you know what Jesus did for me that night? I said, what, Unc? He said, when that white man, red on the face, pulled out that knife and went to swing it at me, because I was telling him about God, so he ended up cutting his hand again, the same hand. He said, I don't know how he ended up stabbing his hand when he just had to swing the knife. And Unc went to tickled laughing pink, man. He just laughing his ass off. So we laughing, because we looking like, Grandma, we know what we did. See, unbeknownst to Unc, me and Grandmama had set up there and assumed that these white folks would probably hurt Unc, pile too much weight on him and crush him, because we knew the story. See, Grandma had did a spell of protection over Unc. And when Grandma did that spell of protection over Unc, that Shango protection spell that I got on my website and shit, when she did that, so Shango was up there protecting Unc, because it was movie, it was showmanship, it was stage. So Unc was laughing. So man, Grandma hear the story, we laugh. So Grandma say, okay, we averted danger for him. Let's go undo the spell. So Grandma goes out there, we undo the spell, she unwrap everything. She say, now he can protect himself. So Grandma leaving Unc to his device. Now he had been doing this for 6 months, because they was on tour here for 6 months, but they kept coming back to Orlando. The majority of their shows was in Orlando. Man, so now they trying to start the woman power team. They told Unc, would you like to lead the team? All the white people, all the Puerto Ricans got mad at Unc. And they like, a black man leading the team? No, we ain't coming to church no more. So, but the head preacher, he just knew Unc had the light of Jesus in him. So he got up there and he get to talking. So Unc said, cool, we gonna do it. So Unc thought he was gonna lead. So people, Grandma come up to Unc and Grandma said, baby, don't take this position. Unc like, why? She said, I can't tell you why, don't take this position. Unc said, okay, Mama, I won't take it. So Unc go to the man tonight. I can't lead the power team. I could be third or fourth, but y'all could just do Unc humbled himself down. Man, when Unc went there, the head man, which was the friend of Deborah, got on stage and he had his mic. He went to talking in the church, and all of a sudden, the flow opened up and dropped in. It's just a big ass hole in the stage, in the pulpit. Drop, boom, open, bam, drop in. Unc would have been right there where the flow dropped in. Now, unbeknownst to me, when the dude cut himself, it had got on Unc's shoe. So Grandma saw the blood on the shoes, and when Unc told the story, Grandma took the blood and said she gonna protect him, and she said she gonna taint that man's blood, everything his blood touched, that, you know, the ground will open him up and swallow him up. These are the exact words of the spell, because I dug the hole and I put Unc's shoes in there. I dug the hole and I put Uncle's shoes in the hole. So I understood what the spell was inquiring about. So now the man cut himself on the altar, there on the altar on stage. And keeping in true Southern Negro fashion, folk magic, the hole opened up in the stage and swallowed that man. He ain't do nothing but pick up 2 weights in each one of his hand, and the flow gave way. So Unc ran and Unc jumped in that hole to save that man. Unc was the first one on the scene. He just had a good heart like that. He jumped in there, and the first thing Unc do, Unc grabbed the man and he just throw the man out the hole. Wow. Then Unc get the weights and he throw the weights like paper. He just fling the weights up there. Fling the 2 weights up there. Now everybody is standing around. So when Unc emerged from the hole, it's like all the lights in the church go down, and only one light that's over that hole on the stage shine on Unc. And when Unc get up there, everybody clapping. So when everybody clapping, Grandma got the picture. Auntie got the picture. I wish I had it to show y'all. Unc got up and Unc was like, praise Jesus that nobody got hurt. Praise God. And Unc lifted his hands up just like the man on this picture. And I had to work with AI to get it like this. Man, everybody looked at Uncle Sean and they fell to their knees. They fell to their knees and they started praying to Jesus right then and there. A church, imagine, a church full of white, brown, and black folk, mainly white, on their knees in front of a black man, praying and worshiping. And Unc didn't know how to take it. He was just thanking God. He didn't even know they was doing it for the first 5-10 minutes. He was just like, I thank you, Father, putting his hands together. And he just had his hands open and the light just stayed, the ray of light stayed on it. Now, when Deborah seen this, and when the pastor seen this, and when everybody in the church seen this, everybody was like, oh, it's a miracle. He's an angel. He got the wings of an angel. He got the glutes of a god, the deltoids of Adonis. They kept giving him all these deified titles. And so when Unc came through, Unc was like, what's going on? And because he was really mesmerized by the power of Christ, he was the only reason to lift them heavy weights and lift that man up like it wasn't shit. Because in his head, Jesus Christ gave him the strength. And he didn't do it for himself. He did it for the man to save. So everybody, they took up a collection plate. Everybody started, God bless him, God bless him, God bless him. So everybody, they took up a collection plate. They passed this collection plate around. And Up was on stage and they didn't cancel the show. They just worked around it. Nothing's gonna stop, not even the mouth of Satan opening up to swallowing us. Nothing is gonna stop this. So after the service, they counted the money. They called Unc to the office. They gave Unc about $2,000 in cash. And Unc like, what I'm doing with this? And he like, no, I just saved the man because I didn't want nothing, no weight to drop on him and crush his head up. And because he just simple guy. They were like, no, we had notes in the basket that the congregation said they wanted you to have this, and keeping in true fashion, every dollar that had your name on it, attached the note, we gave it to you, every single dollar. And it's over 2,000 people. They say close to 2,000 people that wanted you to have this money. So Unc was like, whoa. So Unc started crying. So now Deborah see Unc. Deborah see Unc, and Unc say, hey, Deborah. After he leave the office, and Deborah is on the whole damn skit like, hey, I'm looking to get married. I want to get married. She was looking at the fame because she thought Unc was going to be famous and all that stuff there, and she saw the glory of God. But Unc was like, I don't want to do this no more. So when Unc said he didn't want to do it no more, the preacher got upset with Unc, and the preacher got sad. and the show started going down, and then they just relocated the shit to Dallas. It's still going on to this day, but now everybody is older. So Aunt go back to grandmama. Now you would think that's the story. I just told y'all the good part. Now we finna get into the magical part. And it's gonna be short magic, so don't think I'm gonna keep you here another 10 hours. Go and Aunt tell grandmama, hey, look what they gave me. Grandma take the money. This is the one time grandma was not stingy. She took $300 and gave Uncle Sean the rest. And she, okay. So Aunt go get him some bill, and he go get him some wine, and he get him a pack of cigarettes, and he go and buy him a brand new beach cruiser. He go up at a Buddhist pawn shop, and he go buy him a brand new beach cruiser. He happy with that beach cruiser. He got him a boom bop, and Aunt and Grady hanging out again together. So now Deborah running around the hood looking for Aunt. Aunt seeing her, everybody knowing she there, she ignoring her. Now the car she had brought Aunt is sitting right there. Never touched it. She came and parked it in front of Grandma and them house. Aunt never drove it because he never paid attention that he was not a car man. So one day, Deborah came, knocked on Grandma's door. Grandma come to the door. What's up? And Grandma said, what you want? Is your boy home? Is Sean home? She's like, no, he's not here. He's never here. You need to get your ass about this house. And then the lady was like, no. I'm in love with him. Can I call you mama? She said, bitch, you don't call me nothing. She said, you got my boy caught up in some shit. And now he got this Jesus on the brain. And although it's good for him, you got him caught up in some shit. I got a good son. He got a good heart. You don't need to be with an old white hussy bitch like you. So then the lady was like, I changed my ways. I'm forgiving. So Grandma told her, if you so forgiving, go over there and touch that skull. So she look inside the house. She see the skull head over there. I'm sitting down like, this shit is not going to end well. You know, because we watching Dallas on TV. Grandma love Liz Claiborne getting slapping bitches on Dallas, Texas something show where they slap a lot of. The white woman said, do I got to sell my soul to be with your son? Grandma said, I ain't tell you that. I say, just go over there and touch that skull and kiss it. If you want me to tell you, put in a good word for my son, you go kiss that skull. People, when I tell you that white woman ran over there and she kissed the fuck out of that skull, she couldn't stop lip locking with that skull. Now, this is the skull of the ancestors. Now, was it a real skull? I don't know. I got a plastic skull that I wrote on like Grandma did in my living room. I don't know if there was a real nigga skull Grandma had here. That was one of our ancestors. Far beyond me, I think it was. She kissing the hell out of it and looking at Grandma. So Grandma is like, bitch ain't no good. So after she get done, Grandma say, okay, sit right here. So she's sitting there the whole day. She sat there till like 7 o'clock at night. So Aunt finally come up there with his boom bop, and Aunt see like, Deborah, what you doing here? You know, girl, give me a hug. So all nice and shit. So Grandma say, well, this lady come here and she's asking me, can she marry you? She asking you for your hand in marriage. Say, you want to marry her, Sean? And Sean say, oh, no. Say, she wicked. She got the devil in her, mama. And Grandma say, do say, she got the devil in her. She would mess around with this man and me, and that man kept getting himself hurt and injured. That was God telling me not to be with her. So no, I am not finna let her take me to the river. He used to say some biblical verse because he like Deborah in the Bible, I guess. I don't know. She is not gonna be my Deborah in the Bible. And Grandma say, well, you see that bitch? He don't want you. The lady get upset. And she like storms out the house, and she like gets in the little Chrysler that she had bought on. And she gets in the Chrysler and she flow that bitch. So when she flow it, she end up coming out of the complex and getting on the main road, Ivy Lane Road. And as she come, a semi-truck came over there and hit her. Bam! Knocked her against the wall in Ivy Lane Estates. Now the car crushed between the semi-truck and the car crushed, and the semi-truck is pinning the driver's side against the wall right at the corner of Edgemore Street and Ivy Lane Road, right at that little brick wall right there. So now, Unc hear the commotion. Keep in mind, he had just got off work and he happy. So Unc see the car all bent up. So Unc run down there. Unc running. Everybody in the neighborhood thinking this white woman dead. She just left Grandma's house. Oh man, we done killed this woman, Grandma saying. Grandma say, oh, John, the white bitch done killed herself. See, can't you save her? So Unc say, come on, Tight, come go with me. So I'm like, man, well, I got to be in this shit. I ain't got no muscle yet. So I walk with Unc and we run down there. So while we could hear the ambulance coming, but Unc was like, the ambulance gonna take too long. The lady slumped out the car. I mean, she was on death row, people. So Unc sat up there and he zips it. And under there, he has on the muscle shirt, the power team, the same one that you see in the video I showed you. He had that shirt on with a Jesus, love Jesus, praise Jesus. So Unc goes over there, people. I cannot stress you enough. I can't make this shit up. Unc goes over there and he puts his left hand on the semi-truck and he put his right hand on the Chrysler. Unc, like Samson knocking over the walls, Unc spreaded them cars apart from the semi-truck and he just like pushed that shit away. You can see the car stuck on the wall and he was like, Jesus, give me strength. And he pushes them damn cars apart. The semi-truck backed up. The Chrysler backed up. And when he did that, he reached in there and he grabbed the door off the Chrysler and he just pulled the door off, threw it on the ground. He unbuckled her seatbelt and he picks her up and toted her away from the scene. And he toted her away across the street, laid her down. Everybody, oh, that was the power of God that allowed you to move this truck, to uncrush that woman. Uncs don't got no medical training. He set the lady bones into place. He said he always felt like he was possessed. He set the lady leg bone in place. He set her arm in place. He set up there and he said her neck was busted, his word. And he said he felt the bone and he saw that the bone was out the disc in the neck. So he said he wiggled and he corrected that. Say, when he finally corrected that, he said he put his hands over her forehead and he prayed, Jesus, it is not her time, let her live. And he, to this day, he instantly say, she just like, it's like God came and breathed the breath of life in her himself. And she just, and when she woke up, the ambulance was finally getting there. So they looked at the scene, they took pictures, they documented, they were like, how did she get out the car? So everybody pointed at him and say, oh, Touchy here, he pulled them cars apart like the truck. That wasn't none but Jesus. So grandmama sitting up there in the background, people. And grandma sitting up there, and I look, grandma sitting up there with that chicken foot in her hand, and she just rubbing that chicken foot. The whole time she rubbing that chicken foot. And I'm saying, oh shit, I see what's going on. Grandma was rubbing that chicken foot. So after everything got going, grandma said, okay, I'm done. So Uncle Sean all celebrated as a hero. They shake his hand, police shake his hands and all that stuff there. We never see Deborah again. We never deal with the praise team again. Uncle Sean like he out of it. Grandma taped the chicken foot with the blue feather, the red feather, and the black feather. And she put it inside the ancestor pot. And that's how the story ends. Uncle Sean, he still loved lifting weights. He got to meet Ronnie Coleman. That's when he ended up going to prison and everything for killing that woman when I had turned about 13. But all up until that time, Unc was still sweet. So now, people, let me tell you something. I don't know was that Jesus that helped Unc. I don't know was it grandma in the voodoo thing. But wherever that chicken foot was, wherever Unc was, grandma would always be having that chicken foot when it came to my Uncle Sean. He was so protected. I'm going to leave it right there. I don't know if this story was spooky, scary, entertaining, or what. Y'all let me know in the comments. Also, we'll talk about this shit in the recap. Finna let you go. All right, everybody, I'm Tight. Telling you guys to trust you in the unit. Oh, shit, that's my other page. My bad. I'm Tight. Telling you guys sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, but it's the truth, no doubt. Take care. God bless and much love. And remember, no matter what religion you worship, you can always be lifted up. Have a good one, people.